Welcome back YouTube to another video. I'm DeggyUK. I'm going to be trying to predict the squad for next year in the Premier League. It's going to be based on my opinion only, and the 33-man squad that you see in front of us is all based from the website from the current season that we've just had. Okay, so let's start from the top on the players that we feel that we need to release first. So Matt Macey, haven't seen him play much for Luton at all. However, he played 21 times at Portsmouth. He kept 10 clean sheets. He has been linked with a full-time move to Portsmouth. However, they are also on sites with another player. Personally, I don't think he's going to fit in our Premier League side. So I would say get rid of Matt Macey. Sonny Bradley, we obviously know is going at the end of the season anyway. He's been linked with Derby and with Hull City. So good luck to him. Hopefully shines just like he did with Luton throughout the League 1 and League 2 seasons. Glenn Ray, brilliant character throughout the divisions that we've been going, but he's just obviously not fitting into our squad anymore for the Premier League. He has played 14 ties for Cheltenham this year. He was very much injury prone previously when we were going through, but wish him the very best of luck. Henry Lansbury, been brilliant for Luton. He had 10 appearances with that one goal against Hull City, but personally I don't think he's going to fit into the squad for the Premier League. John McAtee, apparently brilliant for Grimsby. We haven't obviously seen him in Luton squad. I just don't know. We brought him in for his talent and stuff like that. Is he going to be a Premier League player? He's either going to go back out on loan or we'll obviously get rid of him. Carlos Mendes Gomez, another player that has been fantastic for Fleetwood. Reportedly 38 games, 10 goals. Apparently the fans loved him. I don't think he's going to feature in our squad though, so probably one to get rid of. Dion Pereira, another one, 19 appearances with 1 goal for Bradford. Just don't believe, he's still young, but I don't believe he's going to be able to fit into our squad. Arabim Pepple as well, 15 appearances for Grimsby. I just don't think he's going to be fitting into our Premier League squad. Even if we come back down, I just don't think that he'd fit into the squad. We've not seen him around. Admiral Musquay, brilliant at one stage for Luton, but again, he went out on loan to Fleetwood. Had 17 appearances with 3 goals, and I just don't think that they ended his contract in January. But I just don't think he fits into our squad. So they're the players that I would release. Now let's have a look at the players that we're going to send on loan. And Louis Watson, 9 games this year. He looks pretty solid, to be honest. But personally, I feel he's one of them players that will get the ball and he'll pass it back the same way he's playing. Every time he gets it, he's wanted to quickly release it back to the player. He doesn't want to get the ball, turn with it and try and beat players as much. So I don't know whether it's a lack of confidence with that side of things or what, but I definitely wouldn't feature in a Premier League side. So I think send him out on loan. He's still young enough, develop his game in the Championship, and hopefully if we either come back down, he'll be ready, or he'll be advancing through to the Premier League if we do stay. Elliot Thorpe, another one who, again, went out on loan to Burton and come back in January. He's played a total of 12 games for both sides. He's played a few for us. Looked pretty solid, to be honest, but he's still, again, young. Has quite a bit of potential. Send him out on loan, learn his graft, and hopefully he'll develop into a good player. Joe Taylor is a controversial one, maybe some people may say, but he's young. He's got some real good potential. He showed some brilliant nerves to step up and take a penalty after the disallowed goal at Wembley. But personally, you can see with Rob Edwards, he doesn't trust him to come on and be the game changer, because Cauley Woodrow would feature above him. And again, coming on at Wembley, for instance, I think if we send him out on loan in Championship, get a full solid season in Championship, then he would be ready then to step up, either if we come down or we stay up in the Premier League. I think he'll be a real good character, and that's why they brought him from Peterborough. I honestly rate him so highly. He's a fantastic keeper, shuts a great stopper, but I just think his height lets him down a little bit. I don't know about the goal at Wembley the other day, whether it was his height slightly, he might have reached it a bit more, but he played fantastic for us against Chelsea, for instance. He was almost the man of the match for most of the games for Barnsley this year. They rated him highly, and whether they come in and try and buy him is another matter, but I honestly think we should keep him because he'll earn some serious money for us, or he may come through real good as one of our players. And there you have it, our 4 loanee players this year that aren't quite good enough for the Premier League but shouldn't leave the club and are fit for the future. Okay, before we go into transfer rumours, we've got 3 players still outstanding. Marvellous Nakamba, who has been an absolute rock to our team this year. He's played 20 games. He's literally one of the main reasons why we've gone up. Demands the ball, commands it, distributes it well. He's a fighter. He'll run back for everything, and he is a solid midfielder. I just don't know whether we're going to be able to afford his wages. He really wants to come. He proved that at the parade party. He said he wants to try and stay. But he was 10 million Aston Villa paid for a few years ago. Will we be able to afford his wages? I really hope we can. The second player is Even Horvath. He's been another rock. 51 games he's played this year. 20 clean sheets. He's been absolutely fantastic. He has got some errors in him. I know a few people are saying there's better keepers out there. But truthfully, as Rob Edwards says, he wants to keep his core players and then obviously improve where possible. I rate him as one of our core players, just like Nakamba. If we can keep them as a whole, our back five know exactly how he plays and he knows exactly how they play. If you work together, moving into the Premier League one season, I think he'll be a real key aspect to how we actually stay up if we can keep hold of him and get hold of him from Nottingham Forest. Third player is Cody Drame. He's been absolutely fantastic for us again in that right wing back position, bombing down the wing. He's got some real good skill. He's put some decent crosses in for some fantastic goals this year, to be fair. I don't think Leeds are going to get rid of him. That's the problem, because Leeds are probably going to need him for this season in the Championship. They could have done with taking him back and using him in the Premier League to try and keep him up, because he probably would have, to be fair. But he is classed as one of our core players, and if we can try and keep him, I think will be another success, just like Even Horvath. I think we can all agree that the rest of the squad that are right here in front of us are the core players. Colton Morris, we've got Adebayo, we've got Tom Lockyer. Hopefully he becomes club captain. Berry is another one that I feel is a core player that really gets the game going. When you need something out of nothing, he will come on and he'll just produce something like that. Obviously, Pelly Ruddock. Every year people question if he's good enough to obviously prove it. And he does. He proves himself every year, and he just needs to get that chance to be in the Premier League and just complete all the goals he possibly can. Dan Potts, another leader of the squad. Now that Sonny's gone, you've got Pelly and Dan Potts, one of the two main people that come from League Two and beyond, that actually know the core of the club, what the whole aspect is about, the philosophy, everything like that, and they can drill into all the players exactly where the club come from and to almost settle them back down to home if we do get new players come through. Some people may have said Freeman, write Freeman off, but personally, I think Freeman's one of our best corner takers and free kick takers if he is actually fit. That's the only problem we've had this season. He's not been fit enough, etc. I wouldn't get rid of him. I honestly think that, get him back fit and he'll be perfect to fit in, to come off the bench with our core players and actually, fit in and do something. Okay, so the first big real transfer news at the moment is Kieran Dewsbury-Hall. Used to play at us on loan, fantastic player. He was one of our best players that season, and obviously he's been at Leicester. He's now been relegated with them. It'd be class if we could try and get hold of him. He's played for 34 games for Leicester this year, 2 goals. Probably take Pelly's spot, so you would end up having Dewsbury-Hall, Nakamba, and then Clarkey, which would probably be a fantastic rotation, along with Alan Campbell to come on. You'd have Pelly come online. You'd then have Berry as well. And all that rotation, it'd be a fantastic core middle. It'd be brilliant. The second is Jerry Yates from Blackpool. He was one of the top goal scorers in the league this year. He had 43 games under his belt, 15 goals and 6 assists. He's only 26 years old, so a real contender to come up as one of our strikers as well. Obviously, with Cauley Woodrow being injured this year, we had to rely on a little bit of Joe Taylor. But if we get a loan out for Joe Taylor, we'd have Adebayo, Colton Morris, Jerry Yates, and of course Cauley Woodrow. So that'd be a real contender, to be honest, just to score some goals. Our third, bizarrely, slightly, is Andre Ayew, who used to play at Swansea, then moved abroad, and then Nottingham Forest purchased him in January window this year for 2.2 million, I think it was. He's played 13 games in the Premier League since signing. I don't think they'll get rid of him, but he's a left winger. We know what he's capable of. Is he going to fit into our squad? The style that we play, I think it's more just a transfer rumour than anything. But maybe it is the case of whether he'd play like a wing-back side of things, or he would be another one of them strikers. But I don't think he suits the style of play that we play. Another transfer rumour is Killian Phillips, who's at Crystal Palace. He was on loan at Shrewsbury this year with 19 appearances and 3 goals. He also featured in Crystal Palace under-21 team, playing 10 games and 3 goals as well. Reports that he's a real incredible player for Shrewsbury this year. Another prospect is Miles Leaburn, I've heard, from Charlton. He's 6'5", 19 years old. Going to be a real hot spec for the future. Bit like Adebayo, really, a tall, strong centre forward. He's had 40 appearances for Charlton this year, 13 goals, and set to be a real wonder kid. Another transfer rumour is William Jose from Real Betis. He previously played on loan at Wolves. He's a 31-year-old striker with 39 appearances this year, 6 goals. Reportedly, we're meant to be offering around 7 to 8 million, but again, all transfer rumours. So it'll be interesting to see how that progresses as well. But we trust the board and everything they do. It's shown over the years that the recruitment is not all about getting the best strikers possible at the biggest money, etc. We want to try and recruit from the younger divisions, just like we've just seen with some of the rumours there, and then bring them through. With the Premier League, we obviously need to get a couple of strong players that are ready, fit to go, straight like Nakamba, for instance, and Drame. But obviously, we do want to still continue investing for the future, because if we do, for whatever reason, come back down into Championship, we want to make sure we're fit, ready to go straight away. But the idea is to try and keep ourselves in the top division, but with our core players. So how they do that, I'll be interested to see. But they're the transfer rumours that I found so far. If you did like today's video, please do drop us a like, a sub. Let us know in the comments what your thoughts on the squad and who you would change. And as soon as the retention list comes out, we'll be reviewing it and seeing what we got right and what we got wrong.